Belfast now has one of the top 10 historic ships in the world. It's a ship that fought the 20th century equivalent of Trafalgar and was part and parcel of the Battle of Jutland. They are very, very rare birds, and Belfast has one. In fact, Belfast always had one, because Caroline's been here since 1924. I think there's an opportunity now for Caroline to take her rightful place in the firmament of major, historic, majorly important artefacts that tell the story of not only the Royal Navy, the Battle of Jutland, but also of 80-odd years of history in and around Belfast. I think one of the problems with Caroline, and one of the reasons why she has survived, is that at times she seems to be forgotten and sink out of the public view. Certainly she was towed across in 1924, having finished a tour of duty in the Far East, and parked in the Musgrave Channel, fundamentally to be the Belfast Division, or the Ulster Division, should I say, R&R, drill ship. And she would have continued to that until the Second World War came along, where that role was removed because the Ulster Division R&R was mobilised. And then she became an important command and control ship for the Battle of the Atlantic, and really a training base for thousands of young people, both from Northern Ireland and from the United Kingdom, who trained in the ship in torpedo and gunnery and cryptography, all to take their places in the Battle of the Atlantic and the Second World War. The highest priority now is to open Caroline's void spaces, tanks and cofferdams. We know that there is water ingress in the tanks surrounding the historic engine room. That's been there for some time. The rate of ingress has varied. Currently we're pumping the tank about once every 6 weeks. There is clearly a problem.
The ship's at a stage in its life where it needs some urgent intervention work. We're very fortunate that with the funding through the Heritage Lottery Fund, the transformation into a fantastic visitor and heritage centre will allow us to carry out the exercise of saving the ship in turn with carrying out the transformation into this new era of the ship's life. So there's a number of technical exercises we now need to step through, inspections of voids and tanks and cofferdams, many of which haven't been open for a large number of years. Hull plate thickness due to erosion, things like that. The states of the upper timber decks and the scuppers, the drainage systems on the decks. So there's some quite urgent works that we will be undertaking now almost immediately. And then other works will fall in as part of the wider development of the ship, the surrounding Alexandra Dock and some of the adjacent buildings as part of the Visitor and Heritage Centre. The opportunity to take an asset like this with so much rich history, not only in the ship itself, but the fact that its connection and relationship to Belfast over the last 90 years plus, and turn it into another key asset that'll add to sort of the maritime tourist offering in Belfast and celebrate the rich history, not only of the ship, but the role in Belfast and the role it played in people's lives.
I think the fundamental thing that swung the decision was the position established by the Minister for Tourism, Marlene Foster, and the Department of Enterprise, Trade and Investment. They were that part of the Northern Ireland government that were prepared to commit into a partnership with the National Museum of the Royal Navy. And as a result of that, gave confidence to the capital funders, typically the National Heritage Memorial Fund and the Heritage Lottery Fund, that indeed there was a viable project in Northern Ireland providing that Detty and the National Museum were prepared to work together to deliver it.
When we started on this journey down Titanic Quarter, we were trying to build a maritime centre really, and to bring it back to life as it was 100 years ago. And so we started off with the Titanic Centre, and it has proven to be a huge success for us. We added in then SS Nomadic, which again has added to the whole maritime theme. And I just think having HMS Caroline here is hugely important to continue that story, if you like. And it's obviously an important part of Belfast's history, and of course an important part of the national history, particularly in World War I. So we hope that it will add very much to our tourism offering here and allow people to come and learn about the ship and her role in World War I and indeed in Belfast during its time here. For Caroline, I hope that she will grow in stature as well when people learn about not just her role in World War I, but how she played a part in World War II when she was here, how she was here right throughout the Troubles and was the base for the Navy Reserve. So she has a really interesting story to tell, and I hope that all of that story will come out over the years.
After the 31st of May 2016, I would expect the people of Belfast, Northern Ireland, and indeed the UK, have the opportunity to enjoy a world-class museum and visitor attraction and the ability to visit a ship where you can peel back 100 years of naval history, to become enthused and understand the First World War and indeed the role that Caroline played both before the Second World War, during the Second World War, and really up to the day that she finally decommissioned. She's the second longest ship in commission after HMS Victory. I think one of the important roles that Caroline can play in terms of her history in Northern Ireland is the opportunity to become a space which can be shared by the whole of the community, because we can tell the history, but only by understanding the history can we actually move forward into the future. And that's where Caroline, I think, offers a considerable opportunity in the context of Northern Ireland.